Welcome to IYRTalks English edition. In detail, yesterday you have summed up in Telugu about the recent disturbances in Nepal. And in fact, when you talked only disturbances under this one, but today the news is that the government has been toppled, and the process, what's going to happen is a subtle thing. It will be knowing by end of the day and all that. So actually, basically, why we are discussing about these things? Certain nations like Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, all these things, they are around the Indian subcontinent. So they are our neighbors.
They are part of the Indian subcontinent.
A part of the Indian subcontinent. So any disturbance over there will also have an impact, because the disgruntled elements, if they are not happy, they will cross the borders and try to create something, which was in fact has happened as far as Assam is concerned and West Bengal is concerned by the insurgency that has come across the border. So the king has been thrown out, the prime minister has been thrown out, and now I don't know whether it is going to be ruled by the military. One thing really is surprising is that we are seeing the same situation in Sri Lanka. Of course, the electoral process, where at that time they ransacked the whole Raja Prasadam of this one, and people went because they show their that unsatisfactory thing about the ruling and all that. And the second thing is, we are seeing in Bangladesh, still now we don't know what is going to happen there. There is no proper there is no election and there is no proper rule over there, and now it is the Nepal thing. So what do you think the Indian government should do now in the present context to protect its own province and also the establishing peace in the country? And second thing, I just want to know whether there is a hand of the foreign elements in all these places to destabilize the existing government. Can you just elucidate on that?
Yeah, I think one fundamental observation I would make is, elections in democracy are a safety valve. As long as elections are properly being held and it resulting in change of government, if required as per the will of the people, there will be no room for these type of mob agitations and mob overthrow of a properly elected government. Only when the electoral process is compromised, popular outburst is not reflected in the electoral mandate, these things are bound to happen. It happened in Bangladesh, it is now happening in Nepal. Shortly it may happen in Pakistan also. Sometime back it happened in Sri Lanka. This is one important factor. In addition, is there a toolkit network which is working on this? Quite possible, because there was also an attempt to do a similar thing in India in terms of Shaheen Bagh protests, in terms of farmers' protest. In fact, they wanted the government to react and then order some police firing so that can become the issue. But government really very, very deftly handled the whole thing without any loss of life, and they just made them to, they played a long-term game of wait and watch so that they themselves were fatigued and went away. So this toolkit is also playing its role. Definitely America will have a role in that in terms of their strategic importance and their strategic significance. They didn't want Hasina to continue there because she did not give them that St. Martin Islands or something which they wanted for their military base. So that's their grouse against them. They should be having a similar grouse against Nepal also. Maybe they are going nearer to China. In fact, that's one major thing. So this toolkit is also working. But more importantly, the toolkit can only work in case there is a favorable condition. That favorable condition is created in terms of high levels of corruption, cronyism, inefficient administration. All these three things are there. That's a result, and that's what is happening in unfortunate thing, because mobs cannot dictate. I mean, if mobocracy is going to be a substitute to democracy, none of those countries will prosper, because how can mobs dictate which government should be there? But democracy should properly function so that the mobs will not have that choice. Definitely it is going to happen in Pakistan. Some of our left liberal intellectuals want that to happen in India. I mean, their whole ideology is that anarchy. But I don't think it will happen in India for 2-3 reasons. India is big in size, so that itself will ensure there is no one point on which such mobs can come together and do the thing. And luckily, still the electoral system is working and working properly, throwing up opposition ruled states also which are running them, and no government is getting full majority. Last elections also they did not get majority, which means the electoral system is perfect. So when you have that safety wall, the chances of such thing happening are minimum. But definitely America and others will also be trying to destabilize the regime in case they think it's not working as per their strategic interests. One has to be very careful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.